My strongest learning experience happened very early in my career when I was a Montessori teacher, a teacher of 4 to 8 year olds. And for the first 3 hours, I thought I was in charge. And it just from then on, I just knew that I couldn't actually control or lead, guide or force or make anybody do anything. And I was just going to have to pay attention to people, pay attention to where their natural motivation was, pay attention to what the prize was for them.
Strongest learning experience has probably been the moment when I had to take care of actually some very tough decisions to let go of some employees, and to do it in a way that was respectful of the individuals and also following the company values.
But as I think back about my career, where I've learned the most is where I've experienced challenge and hardship, things that were not easy to figure out. And so by immersing myself in very challenging assignments over the course of my career, I've been stretched and pulled and poked and prodded, and as a result, I've become a better leader and a better person.
Wow. So I will say something that confirms our research. I think one of my strongest lessons came from a hardship. And now in hindsight, I think I'm thankful for that challenging experience I went through, because it kind of pushed me. You know, when we talk about leap incremental learning, I think I had kind of a big jump. I was leading a very big project, and at one day I understood that their shareholders is not willing to complete it, and I had to leave. And that was a failure, and through that failure I learned that success is not only depending on my team and not only on my passion.
My strongest experience was when I was a high potential in an organization when I first got out of graduate school, and did very well in that for about 6 or 7 years, and then hit my first roadblock or wall. I had stepped into a role as an interim person, and it was expected that I would apply and get that role permanently, but instead I applied and didn't get the role. And it was a very humbling experience, but also a great opportunity for me to look at myself and realize what I did and what I didn't do that was getting in my way, and to not make assumptions about things.
I would like to say that it was some great astounding success, but I would say the things that I've learned the most from have been failures. And in each of those cases, they were impactful at a very deep level. So maybe it was the pain of going through something that I would be perceiving as a failure, but my failures have taught me all sorts of resilience, all sorts of the ability to overcome or to stick with it in order to see something that was possible down the road that I wouldn't have seen at the moment. How do we mine our failures as well as our successes, and how do we share those more openly and more vulnerably so that more people can actually learn those lessons of experience themselves?
My stronger learning experience was that day when I had all those emotions. I was as a director in the meeting of 80 directors for Europe, and I had all those negative emotions. Company was not going very well, and at some point I stood up and I said very stupid things in front of 80 people. That night there was a special meeting of 4 of the senior managers to decide if they were going to throw me out or not. That was reflecting on that, and it took me years and years to really learn all the stuff that I needed to learn about that, and that was painful, definitively. I was not fired, but I knew that it happened, but also full of learning. And the only important thing is learning.
My strongest learning experience was when I discovered the importance of self-awareness. If you don't know, if you are not self-aware, if you don't know what your strengths are, if you don't know what your development needs are, it's very unlikely that you are successful in developing your leadership skill.
That you learn things that are not very special. Not surprising.
Dealing with politics, influencing when you don't have any authority, resilience, and dealing with demotivated people. When you lead through times of change, people tend to be demotivated, and keeping the ambience up and the atmosphere up has been a great learning experience for me.
And I think that's the thing. I finally figured out that leadership is a communal activity, not an individual one.